First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. You can be seated. And I would especially like to thank Jarrod and Roxanne for making me a part of this big event. Like many of you, I've been checking the skies all day. And it wasn't so much that I thought it was going to rain, it was just over the years I had thought that pigs would fly before Jarrod got married. The pork squadron might be doing a flyby at any time. Keep your eyes peeled. Last summer I was part of a group that did an event called the Tough Mudder, which was an 11.5-mile obstacle course on the Beaver Creek ski mountain. And it consisted of climbing through little tiny culverts, swimming through ice cold water, crawling under barbed wire that had electric fence hanging from it, and we had to negotiate obstacles that were anywhere from 3 feet tall to about 40 feet tall. And most of these obstacles were negotiable by yourself, but some of them took the help of one or more of your teammates. And as I got to thinking about it, I thought that it closely paralleled life in that obstacles are thrown in front of us all the time. However, there are times when we need somebody to help us out, and when you're married, the awesome part is you've got somebody there to give you a boost if you need it, maybe a shoulder to lean on, a shoulder to cry on, or a kick in the butt if you need it for that matter. I heard a cowboy preacher in Cheyenne one time that said marriage is the most beautiful, wonderful, frustrating thing that a person can do. And at the time I was single and I thought that was pretty funny. I've been married for 9 years, and I can tell you, while it's still funny, it's also pretty darn true. And in that 9 years, I have had the opportunity to not only observe what works in my marriage, but also other marriages, other business relationships, and teammate interactions. And there are 2 things that stand out in my mind when it comes to successful relationships. And the first one is respect. If you guys treat each other with respect, everything will be just fine. Don't let your desire to win the argument or your desire to be right override your obligation to treat each other with respect. The second one is communication. And a lot of times with relationships, people think, well, you got to tell them what bugs you. Otherwise, it'll just fester in your brain and you'll get mad all the time. Well, I think that's important, but it's also very important, or more important, to tell them about the positive stuff. So for every time you have to remind these guys to change their underwear more than once a week, there should be 10 times that you tell them how smart and funny they are. And for every time you get after her for splitting a pair of kings or doubling down on a 12, there should be 10 times that you remind her that she is a beacon of light in the darkness that was your life. Now, let's move on to the good stuff. Take Roxanne's hand and repeat after me. Roxanne, I love you. You are my best friend.
Roxanne, I love you. You are my best friend.
I look forward to holding your hand,
I look forward to holding your hand,
hearing you laugh,
hearing you laugh,
and making you smile.
and making you smile.
Please take this ring as a promise
Please take this ring as a promise
that I will treat you with respect,
that I will treat you with respect,
comfort you in times of sorrow,
comfort you in times of sorrow,
and love you forever.
love you forever.
Wear it as a sign of what we have promised,
Wear it as a sign of what we have promised,
and know that my love is present
and know that my love is present,
even when I am not.
even when I am not.
And you may place the ring on him. Take Jarrod's hand and repeat after me. Jarrod, I love you. You are my best friend.
Jarrod, I love you. You are my best friend.
I look forward to holding your hand,
I look forward to holding your hand,
hearing your laugh,
hearing your laugh,
and making you smile.
and making you smile.
Please take this ring as a promise
Please take this ring as a promise
that I will treat you with respect,
that I will treat you with respect,
comfort you in times of sorrow,
comfort you in times of sorrow,
and love you forever. Wear it as a sign of what we have promised,
wear it as a sign of what we have promised,
and know that my love is present
and know that my love is present,
even when I am not.
even when I am not.
Now, Eric Ritchie and Anna Swanson will perform When I Say I Do, while the family pours the unity sand.
times are good, they're always gonna be. They rise and they fall, and we take them all the way that we should, together you and me, forsaking them all. And deep in the night and by the light of day, it always looks the same. True love always does. And here by your side or a million miles away, nothing's ever gonna change the way I feel. The way it is the way that it was. When I said I do, I meant that I will, till the end of all time. Be faithful and true, devoted to you. It's what I had in mind when I said I do. This whole world keeps changing, the world stays the same. That's how they come before, and it goes hand in hand. Only you and I can undo all that we became, that makes us so much more than a woman and a man. And after everything that comes and goes around has only passed us by, here alone in our dreams. I know there's a lonely heart in every lost and found, but together you and I will be the ones who found out what forever means. When I said I do, I meant that I will, till the end of all time. Be faithful and true, devoted to you. That's what I had in mind when I said I do. A truer than true, you know that I will always be there for you. Hey, that's what I had in mind.
That's what I had in mind
When I said I do.
So, you have professed your love by exchanging your vows. You've symbolized your commitment by exchanging rings, and you've expressed the end of your individual lives by the pouring of the unity sand. So let's get down to business. Roxanne, do you take Jarrod to be your husband, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you shall live?
I do.
Jarrod, do you take Roxanne to be your wife, to live together in the covenant of marriage? Do you promise to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her in sickness and in health, and forsaking all others, be faithful to her as long as you shall live? So, as a junior varsity preacher from the Universal Life Church and Monastery, and by the power vested in me by the state of Colorado, I pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss her, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. You may join us for drinks on the patio.